Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Ducksy Gaming and day 2 of the Laidback Exile series. Now, there's been a little bit of feedback on the series of what people would like to see going forward, and one thing that's requested is that I try and spend more time outlining what the goals are for each day so people can see how I progress. So for now, I'm going to spend a bit more time at the beginning going through what the goals are and why, and maybe a bit less time going over the build and the POB, as the idea of the series is more about overall progression of the game and not build progression. Plus, this is a build I'm winging as I go along, so it's probably going to be shit and probably end up me needing to Google some proper builds to carry on at some point. So at the end of the first day, I've really only just started mapping. I did a few heists to get a nice flow of currency going, just really so I'm not stuck for stuff like alchemy orbs, scours, ults, and most importantly, chance orbs for maps. So my aim once I get to maps and get going is always to get to the T3 map as quickly as possible, as that unlocks Zana, and then she sells you maps, and it just massively helps with your map progression. You also hope that she sells a T5 map, because then you're able to unlock Maven. So a few tips. Firstly, you can't activate Maven until you have access to the Citadel in that region. So if you've only got one T5 map, don't run it until the Citadel is unlocked. You can then run the map and Maven should turn up, and then you should be able to unlock Maven. So you also need to make sure that when you get the first Maven fight that you complete that as soon as you can, because she's not going to be interested in any of the other regions until you've completed that first encounter. Second tip, early on, especially in SSF, is, which I'm going to be doing, is using vendors to get chance orbs. So chance orbs can be bought for orbs of fusions at a 1-to-1 ratio, and it's 100% worth doing early on. You're not going to need many fusions because you're not going to be trying to fuse a 5 or 6 link this early on. So I'm going to try and get to Zana, unlock Zana, buy all of her maps that I need for completion, hopefully get a tier 5 map to unlock Maven. Then, depending on how we get on, we'll try and go further and maybe get the first Maven fight done. Obviously, we've only got 1.5 hours this session. Going to also try and unlock the 4 corner Conqs and get as many of them completed as we can. So overall, the goals, although they're probably not all going to be completed, are unlock Zana, start collecting the corner watchstones, unlock Maven, try and complete the first Maven encounter, and I'm also going to make sure I'm scourging as often as possible because I need to unlock the perk that gives you a chance to get extra links, as that's another cheap and easy way of obtaining a 6 link. Once I get my first watchstone, I'm going to slot that into Lyra Arthane because I want to unlock exotic goods as soon as possible, which takes the first 2 Maven passives. So if I unlock Maven and Lyra Arthane, then stick a watchstone in there, it means any maps that I get dropped at that tier, they're going to go in Lyra Arthane. I can then do the second Maven encounter and get that unlocked really quickly. And then probably pass this video, but we'll then do the same for Haywalk Hamlet so we can unlock the essences. So that's my goals for today. So let's get into the action and see what day 2 had in store. So to start the session, I'm just going to run any T2 maps that drop in the hope of getting a T3 map. Where I can, I'm chiseling and alching these maps. It may sound silly to some people to juice T2 maps, but getting your first T3 map is one of the most important things you can do in the game, and it can be a real bottleneck if every time you complete a T2 map you don't get a T3 map drop and then you've got to go back to T1s. So when I'm in these maps, I'm full clearing, I'm opening strong boxes, and I'm scourging really just to clear the map as best as I can and give myself the best chance to drop a T3 map. Now we do get lucky, and during mapping we do get a T3 tower map to drop in this strand map, and that was after about half an hour. You can see from the footage the build itself on 4 links does okay. It's a bit stop-start because you have to keep summoning the SRS because they don't live that long, as I've got them linked to Infernal Legion to get their damage up. So now that we've got a T3 map to drop, we'll finish this map and then we'll start farming some Conquerors. But before we do that, let's see what map Zana has waiting for me. So it was quite a successful day. We got Maven unlocked and we killed Baron and Drox to get a couple of Watchstones. And then I have also had a couple of maps drop in the one Watchstone region of Lyra Arthane. So we're looking really, really good for getting Maven unlocked quickly there. I'm just about to hit level 78. I totally forgot to do the third lab, so I've completed that. The only issue I'm having at the moment is on Conqueror maps, AoE and ground effects is decimating my zombies and my skeletons. So I might just spec into a bit of life just as a temporary fix to that. But once we get more passives completed and generally we level our gems up, we shouldn't have too much of a problem. So the build's already becoming a bit of a chore with the stop-start nature and with no way of controlling the minions. So we need to look at that in future episodes. Atlas completion, we've got up to 15. I'd have hoped it'd been a little bit higher, but clearing's not been as good as I was hoping it would be. We haven't had any gear upgrades. We're still running on the double 4 links. So that's really it for day 2. Day 3, we're going to aim for more Conquerors, get those Maven fights completed, get map completion up, and hopefully start farming for a 5 or a 6 link. So hopefully from here, we start rocketing on day 3, 4, and 5. So until then, as usual, thank you for watching, take care, and see you all in the next video.